Thank you very much, Erica. Thank you all. First of all, I'd just like to give honor and thanks to God for this wonderful privilege tonight. When Junior Watkins called me in January, I must say, it took him about a week to get in touch with me because I was off work, and I thought, okay, let me get back to Junior. But when he told me what it was, I must say I was humbled. I felt very privileged and honored to be a part of such a wonderful designation. I can remember as a little girl spending lots of time at Proctor Center, hanging out, just hanging out. That was the place we went on a weekly basis, you know, to get the nurturing, to go swimming, to go skating. Never imagining that I would one day become a member of the Hall of Fame. That was the pre-Hall of Fame days, but I feel fortunate tonight. And I'd like to accept this award on behalf of my mother, who's here with me tonight, my dad, who passed away several years ago, because it was she who made me the kind of young person I am today. My mother always said to us, get an education, whatever you want to do, be the best at it. Be the best at it. So, Mom, thank you for your wonderful words, and God bless you for being the kind of role model that you've been for me. And you know, I just want to say, when I returned home to Central Illinois 11 years ago, my plan was, oh, Mom, I'll come back and just maybe hang around for a couple years. You know, I want to get out of here. But I must say my 11 years have been rewarding, enriching, enlightening. I've had the opportunity to work on boards. I've had the opportunity to interact with young people. I've been involved in some very worthwhile projects. And I probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to do those things here in my hometown had I not spent the time that I was able to spend over the last 11 years. And as I was sitting at the table tonight, one of the young men said to me, well, what does one do, Ms. Jackson, to become a member of the African American Hall of Fame? And I thought, well, that's a really tough question, you know. I don't think it's something that you consciously go out to seek to do. There's a quote that I hear a lot. It's find your passion and go for it, and work won't feel like work. Well, if I could add to that, I would say get an education, find your passion, and help as many people along the way as you possibly can. And who knows, you might one day find yourself in the African American Hall of Fame, if that's any advice. But I just want to thank everybody. God bless you. And thank you, Junior Watkins and the African American Hall of Fame, for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Our next recipient is representative of a generation that causes education and everything else that we do to be so important. The next recipient receiving the Richard Pryor Lou Rawls Youth Award is Chastity Lewis. If Ms. Lewis will rise and come. Ms. Lewis is an 8th grader at Manual High School. I'll make that correction because she corrected me as soon as I spoke with her earlier this evening. So it's actually Manual High School. She loves volleyball, basketball, softball, tennis, and other things. She also plays the clarinet in the school's marching band. Chastity also sings with the Integrity Choir of Peoria under the direction of Pastor Spencer Gibson. Chastity is very active in the church where she attends Sunday school, participates as a junior usher and a youth choir member, and is one of the youngest members of the Pastor's Aid Committee. Ms. Lewis's love for cooking and caring for others coincides with her dreams to one day become an obstetrician or veterinarian. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Chastity Lewis.
Well, first giving honor to God, because without him I wouldn't be anything, and I would not be receiving this award today. And I would like to show love to my family, my Uncle William and my great-grandpa. They drove all the way down here from Tunica, Mississippi, just to watch me get this. And I would also like to thank everybody that supported me, and that's mainly it.
The last award of the evening is the William Jr. Watkins Founders Award. And our speaker, our inductee, was not able to attend, so Calvin Butler will be accepting on his behalf. He is actually on the board for the company that Calvin Butler works for, and his name is Don Thompson. He's the president of McDonald's, and when I start this list, he is impressive. And so with this, Don Thompson, president of McDonald's USA, with responsibility for strategic direction and overall business results for over 14,000 retail locations. He began his career in 1990 as an electrical engineer. He is active throughout the business community, and nationally, he sits on the board of directors for the Exelon Corporation. He serves as Mayor Richard Daley's task force on the employment of people with disabilities, on the board of the Goodman Theater. He is on the board of the Janetta B. Cole Foundation and served as the 2007 chair of the Chicago Youth Center Galas. He served as the Salvation Army Steering Committee for the Ray and Joan Kroc Community Centers, a former board member of the San Diego Ronald McDonald House Charities. He was named by Black Enterprise as Corporate Executive of the Year, and he's also been celebrated by the Chicago American Diabetes Association as Father of the Year. He earned his bachelor's in electrical engineering from Purdue University, and in 2008 he received an honorary doctorate from Excelsior College in Albany, New York. At Purdue, he was also named the Purdue Old Master Fellow in 2006. We wish he was here, but Calvin, we are very thankful that you were able to accept the award on his behalf. Thank you.
I do have the pleasure of knowing him personally, and along with his wife, Liz. As mentioned, Don serves on the Exelon Board of Directors, with whom I work for, but I also serve on a couple of working boards with his wife, Liz, and what a wonderful family. I'll just tell you a little story about Don. About a year and a half ago now, we were at the inauguration for the current president, and we were at an event, and I had the pleasure of introducing my 15-year-old son, then 14, to Don. And Blake sat back and, being a 14-year-old, said, "Okay, then what do you do?" And Don said, at that time he was president of McDonald's North America. And Blake said, "Okay, that's an impressive job." And Don said, "I see that in you." He goes, "If you continue to work hard, continue to get your education, you also can become a president or CEO of a Fortune 100, Fortune 50 company, if that's what you so choose to do." So what's interesting about that is when in Crane Chicago Business, when Don's promotion of President to McDonald's USA came about, and Blake said, "Now I want his job." But Don took the time to sit back, as busy as he is, because again, a trend that was going throughout the evening to all the honorees was the humility. Everyone, when they talk about public service, when they talk about giving back, every one of the recipients talked about, when you were introduced to humility. Don is just that. He's humble. You would never know. And his wife and they constantly give back to the communities in which they live and in which they work. And on behalf of Don Thompson, I just want to say to the African American Hall of Fame Museum, thank you.